Hey there, everybody. It's me, Miss Wilmer, and today I was excited to read Act 3, Scene 4 with my group reading attendance, but there were too few for us to read it together. So what I've done instead is set up a PowerPoint so that I can read it to you. So if you need help sorting through when Hamlet kills someone, it's so exciting. I wanted to do that one as a read together. This is what you get instead. If you don't come and read with me, then I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to hark back to my high school theater days and do my best. So I'm going to screen share so that you can follow along with the text. I've put boxes around sections that I think are important. Remember, for this scene, you need a quote for your discussion worksheet that shows why Hamlet acts in this scene, and then you need a quote from 3:3 why he does not act when he sees Claudius praying. So look out for an explanation of why Hamlet acts. What is causing him to not hesitate in this scene? There are several things you can do there, okay? So I'm going to share my screen and pull up this presentation. Okay, so hopefully that is showing well enough for you. So here's what my group reading sessions usually look like. You log into Blackboard and you see a slide like this that tells you what kind of academic support session this is. In this case, it was a group reading session. Students who are failing English are maybe listed as required. However, not enough people attended today for us to do a live reading together. So I think I'm going to switch this group reading thing. It doesn't seem to be working for you guys. Maybe it's too early. I don't know. So I'm going to rethink that. So if you have needs or suggestions, I am open to them. Email me. So group reading session. We are going to look at Act 3, Scene 4 together. I'll be doing a dramatic reading. We also have other ways for you to listen, watch, and look at these scenes. All right, so this is how each slide will look. I have taken the Folger digital text and grabbed the text and put it here along with, I have at least one picture from a movie or a drawing or stage. And you probably noticed my background is a scene. I should have showed you more when it was bigger, but that's the Royal Shakespeare Company, I believe, doing Midsummer Night's Dream. So it's a stage. All right, so we have Act 3, Scene 4. And here the synopsis tells you what's going to happen. It gives you a summary of the scene. So it says, in Gertrude's room, Polonius hides behind a tapestry. Hamlet's entrance so alarms Gertrude that she cries out for help. Polonius echoes her cry, and Hamlet, thinking Polonius to be Claudius, stabs him to death. Hamlet then verbally attacks his mother for marrying Claudius. In the middle of Hamlet's attack, the ghost returns to remind Hamlet that his real purpose is to avenge his father's death. Gertrude cannot see the ghost and pities Hamlet's apparent madness. After the ghost exits, Hamlet urges Gertrude to abandon Claudius's bed. He then tells her about Claudius's plan to send him to England and reveals his suspicions that the journey is a plot against him, which he resolves to counter violently. He exits, dragging out Polonius's body. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Now I'm going to read it in Shakespeare language between the characters. So just a reminder, Polonius is an advisor to the king, and he is spying in this scene, and he's also an advocate of spying and spreading rumors anyway. So he's advising Claudius, the uncle king who killed the former king Hamlet's father. Okay, hopefully we have a handle on the plot. So in this case, he has just passed Claudius, who's praying, and he decides not to kill him because he's praying, and he would go to heaven if he was killed while praying. But Hamlet is still determined to kill his uncle, father guy, the new king, Claudius. But Gertrude has called for Hamlet. She wants to talk to him. And he says he will speak daggers to her. He's going to tear her apart verbally, but not hurt her. But he's so riled up, we'll see what happens. He scares her. He ends up killing someone that he can't see. And then he's super mean to his mother. The ghost then comes and talks to him, and she can't see it, so she thinks he's, okay, now he's for sure crazy. He's talking to an imaginary ghost. So that's all what happens in the scene. Let's go get to reading. Scene 4. Enter Queen and Polonius. Polonius. He will come straight. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened and stood between much heat in him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you, be round with him. So he's going to hide. Hamlet within. Mother, mother, mother. Queen. I'll warrant you, fear me not, withdraw, I hear him coming. Polonius hides behind the arras. So here he is. We can see a picture. My face may be in the way. Let's change where I am. He's behind a curtain or something. Enter Hamlet. Hamlet. Now, mother, what's the matter? Queen. Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended. Hamlet. Mother, you have my father much offended. Queen. Come, come, answer with an idle tongue. Hamlet. Go, go, you question with a wicked tongue. Queen. Why, how now, Hamlet? Hamlet. What's the matter now? Queen. Have you forgot me? No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And, would it were not so, you are my mother. Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak. Come, come, sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you. What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help, ho! What ho, help? Hamlet. How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat. Dead. He kills Polonius by thrusting a rapier through the arras. And you see that in the picture. Oh, I am slain. Queen. Oh me, what hast thou done? Nay, I know not. Is it the king? So just to pause, this is the action of the scene. Hamlet is talking to his mother. He says this line here in the top green box, the bottom one, the bottom line of the top green box says, where you that he will show her herself, where you may see the inmost part of you. And she takes that literally and thinks that he's going to cut her open to see the inside of her because he's mad, but that's not what he means. He means that he will reflect what's up with her, that she's been making bad decisions and her heart is wrong or rotten or something for marrying her brother-in-law. So she cries for help. Polonius cries for help too, and Hamlet, not knowing who it is, but knowing that there's a man hiding there, he thrusts his sword into the person who's hiding, killing Polonius. So let's go on. Queen. Oh, what a rash and bloody deed this is. A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother. As kill a king? Aye, lady, that it was my word. He pulls Polonius's body from behind the arras. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy is some danger. To Queen. Leave wringing your hands, peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall. It may be made of penetrable stuff, if damned custom have not it brazed so, that it be proof and bulwark against sense. What have I done that thou darst wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me? Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and set blister there. makes marriage vows as false as Dicer's oaths. Oh, such a deed, as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face does glow o'er the solidity, a compound mass with heated visage, as against the doom is thought-sick at the act. Ay me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index? Look here upon the picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on his brow, Hyperion's curls in the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars, to threaten and command, a station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as a wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor gives the change, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will. O Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such a black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct. Nay, but to live in the rank sweet sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty. Oh, speak no more. These words like daggers enter my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet. Hamlet, a murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule, a combination in form and deed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look, now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildeweed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on the moor? Ha, have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday and the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon judgment, and what judgment would step from this to this? Sense sure you have, else you could not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so enthralled, but it is reserved some quantity of choice to serve such a difference. What devil was it that hath cozened you at hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans all? But a sickly part of one true sense could not so mope. Oh, shame, where is thy blush? That from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put in his pocket. No more. A king of shreds and patches. Enter ghost. So we have, I'll just pause for a moment to reflect that Hamlet has been speaking truth to his mother, saying, how could you have gone from such a good man and then chosen his terrible brother so quickly after? You know, you have no soul. You can't be in love with him. You can't feel passion for him because you're an old lady. You should just feel judgment and you should be responsible. And why are you so anxious to get married again? And why is your judgment so poor to choose to marry Claudius? And now we have the ghost entering. And as we read in the synopsis, the ghost can be seen by Hamlet, but not by Gertrude the queen. So it's going to appear that he is crazy to her. So Hamlet continues, save me and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure? Alas, he's mad. Do you not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion? Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say. So just to explain that, Hamlet is saying, are you here because you're angry that I didn't kill Claudius when I saw him in the last scene? So this might be an important place to look for a quote. And the ghost responds, do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet. Hamlet. How is it with you, lady? Queen. Alas, how is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse. Forth at your eyes your spirits widely peep, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, your bedded hair, like life in excrements, start up and stand at the end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience, whereon do you look? Hamlet. On him, look how pale he glares, his form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones, would make them capable. To the ghost. Do not look upon me, lest with these piteous action you do convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance, for blood. To whom do you speak this? Do you see nothing there? Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see. I might have a little line missing here. Sorry about that. Let's continue because it looks like it's Hamlet. Something, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me, this is my virtue. For in the faintness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo, for leave to him good. For leave to do him good. O Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain. Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night, but go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster, custom, who all sense doth eat of habits devil, is angel yet in this. That to the use of actions fair and good he likewise gives a frock or livery that is aptly put on. Refrain tonight. That shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature. Oops, I can't see that part. So I'm here at the top of the second box. Queen Hamlet says something that I can't see because of my screen sharing. Apologies. Queen says, no, nothing but ourselves. Hamlet. Why, look you there, look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out the portal. Oh, I see what happened. Sorry, these two got switched. So this is when he's speaking to the ghost. Apologies. So I just read that out of order. So the second box, the middle box, should have come first. That's why it was confusing. Apologies. So Hamlet should have continued talking to his mother and the ghost. Do you see him? No, nothing but ourselves. And Hamlet says, why, look you here. Look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now, out at the portal. Ghost exits. Then the queen says, this is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy, is very cunning in. Hamlet, ecstasy? My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time and makes a healthful music? Is it not madness that I have uttered? Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword, which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unctions to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whiles rank corruption mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me, this my virtue. For in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg. Yea, curb and woo, for leave him to good. Okay, so if you followed here, I finished this middle section and I jumped over to the left section. I think it's left on yours, the side one. Okay, and then I did read that already. He's saying, don't continue loving this man. You mustn't go to bed with him. Claudius, this murderous king. And this is our last slide. So let me move my little box away. So Hamlet continues, "I'll blessing beg of you for this same Lord," pointing to Polonius. "I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and with me, and this with me, and that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. This bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady. What shall I do?" And this we read in class, if you were in class. What shall I do? Hamlet. "Not this, no, by no means that I bid you. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses, or padding on your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know. For who's that but a queen fair, sober, wise?" I forget what that line is. Something about a bat, a gib, such dear concernings hide. Who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top, let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, try to conclusions, in the basket creep and break your own neck down. Queen. Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me. I'll keep it a secret. Perhaps. Hamlet. I must to England, you know that. Queen. Alack, I had not forgot, 'tis so concluded on. Hamlet. There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I trust I will adders fanged, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and shall go hard. But I will delve 1 yard below their minds, and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts to the neighbor's room. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish prating knave. Come, sir, to draw you toward an end with you. Good night, mother. They exit, Hamlet tugging in Polonius. He drags away his body. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing, and it's just another way that I'm offering an understanding of Hamlet. So what has just happened, to recap, Hamlet went to his mother's bedroom to speak with her. He frightened her by saying, I will show the insides of you. He meant her heart, her truth, but she cried out in fear. Polonius cried out in fear, hearing that she was afraid, and so Hamlet killed him. And then Hamlet criticizes his mother by saying, this is not right. You shouldn't have married this man. Look inside yourself. Is this really who you are? And she's appalled at herself, but she also thinks that Hamlet is crazy. And so they have lots of exchanges. The ghost comes and speaks to Hamlet and says, remember, you're supposed to be avenging me. You need to kill Claudius. Don't be so mean to your mom, basically. And he goes, okay, yeah, all right. So I killed Polonius. Sorry about that. But he was a knave. You know, in life, he wasn't all that great a guy. So, you know, I did it. And here we go. I'm being sent away. So that's what I'm going to do. And she agrees. And so she's sort of torn about this, but that is what happens in Act 3, Scene 4. So look for quote explanations of why Hamlet acted in this scene. And you need to go back to Act 3, Scene 3, when he doesn't act, when he could have killed Claudius, and determine why he didn't. So this is, you can also look at the lesson on action and inaction. That's these two scenes. So write a paragraph, find some quotes, and submit 9.06 this week. Thanks so much, everybody. See you soon.